Some survival tips just in case you end up in handcuffs in the county jail.
Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too.
All right, guys. So, as you can see by the title and the thumbnail, this is some survival tips. I haven't decided how many yet. Maybe it'll be 3 or 5. I don't know. We'll figure out where this goes, I guess. But this is survival tips in case you end up in the county jail. Now, I'm basing everything I know off of Southern California. I've done time in Riverside, San Bernardino, and Los Angeles counties. And I've done similar videos in the past about, things you need to know in prison and stuff. This is going to be the county jail edition of that. So, if you're still active in your addiction or your alcoholism, chances are you're going to end up in one of these facilities at some point. Not necessarily in Southern California, but wherever it is you live. So before we get too much into it, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, drop a comment, share the video, hit the notification bell so that anytime I go live or drop a new video, you will be notified, and join the channel. It really helps to support the movement we've got going here. So yeah, just hit that join button and select a membership level and go from there, basically. So you break the law, right? You end up in handcuffs, you end up in the back of a police cruiser, and you're heading to the county jail. Okay, so you end up in the county, and first place you're going to go is you're going to go to intake, basically. And depending on which county it is, this typically is about an 8-hour process. I've been in LA County where it's taken 3 days. So don't get in a rush, basically, because it really don't matter. Your opinion don't matter. They're going to move you along at the pace they feel they need to move you along at. And depending on, like, Friday nights are busy type of thing, but you're going to get processed in. They're going to take your fingerprints. They're going to give you a phone call and, take your property and all that stuff, get you dressed out in blues or whatever color it is that you're wearing for your trip there. And now I want to be clear, I'm speaking on the general population side. I've never been to the PC or the SNY side, so I don't know how that goes. The processing inside, I'm sure, is the same, except maybe you're, in a different holding cell than the general population inmates. Now, when you get in that holding cell, anybody that's perceived to be an ally, you're going to shake their hand and introduce yourself and tell them where you're from. If you're not from a gang, then you're just going to give them your city. I'm Bobby from San Bernardino, is the way I would introduce myself. And you're going to do a lot of this. You're going to meet some people, and eventually what's going to happen is they're going to get you housed. And you could end up in a dorm. You could end up in cell living. I've done all of the above. In LA County Jail, you're pretty much going to start off in cell living. In Riverside and San Bernardino, Riverside, I was cell living. I don't think I ever seen a dorm in Riverside County. In San Bernardino County, I seen some dorm living and some cell living. And let's start off with dorm living. So they're going to put you in a dorm, and basically there's going to be a whole bunch of dudes in there, and all different races, all different backgrounds, a lot of gangbangers. Not everyone gangbangs, though. And when you arrive, your first thing you're going to do is find out where's your people at. somebody should come. They're gonna say, "Who do you run with?" Basically, like that a lot of times I'd get, "Hey, are you a homie?" No, I'm not a homie. I'm a wood. Oh, okay. There's your people over there, type of thing. And uh, what you want to do if you've never been locked up, and the thing is, a lot of people will be released on their own recognizances. Basically, you sign a promise to appear, and they're going to let you go, depending on your charges, though, right? So if you're in there for unaliving of someone or something, say, you're probably not going to get an OR. If you're in there for, simple possession of, illegal substances, chances are you're going to get an OR. As long as you haven't failed to appear on previous charges, chances are you're going to get an OR. So back into the dorm, though. So we're in the dorm, and one of your people's going to come up, and like I said, the thing is, if somebody don't approach you, then find your people. No matter who it is you run with, uh, find your people and get the layout of the land. Basically, in these dorms, certain tables are going to belong to certain groups, and you don't want to go sit at a table that don't belong to your group. That can start a whole big issue. Certain phones, there'll be a block of phones as you come into the dorm. In West Valley, there were phones on both sides up by the front, and then you had like tables in the middle. And you know the you get with the rep or one of his whoever he assigns to come and give you the rundown, and they're going to tell you, okay, these two phones are ours. These two phones are the black phones, and you know these other phones belong to the Southsiders, or whatever the demographics in the dorm may be. In Southern California, that's pretty much what you got. You got Paisas, Southsiders, blacks, and whites. So you figure out which stuff belongs to you, all the way down to toilets are assigned to certain groups. Like in West Valley, I think that originally that facility was built as a female facility because they don't have urinals in the dorms. They're all toilets. So, basically it was like, okay, these first two toilets are pissers, and uh, the or like the first two toilets are our pissers. The next two toilets are so and so's pissers. These toilets over here are for number two, if you will. And and like that was the rundown. So that's the first thing. You want to get with your people, and you want to find out what the lay of the land is, what we can do, what we can't do. And I will give this warning. I seen Splinter do a video on this the other day about playing cards with the blacks. Uh, as a white guy in the county jail, you may end up some places. I ended up in a dorm. It was dorm 15, building, or module 15, and it was super soft in there. There was a lot of stuff going on in there that doesn't mesh with the politics of prison. And Splinter had talked about how he wouldn't play pinochle with the black. And the thing is, you have to kind of understand what the politics are of, if you're looking at long term, I would suggest trying to get with somebody that looks like they've been around a little bit, that has been to prison, and they can put you up on game, because you're probably not going to know all of this stuff. And even though it's accepted in that dorm, like the whites were sharing food with the blacks and doing a lot of stuff. And personally, like, I got black in my family. I don't trip on that stuff, but it's a different world in there. Okay. And the thing is, maybe it's accepted in there, and maybe people are going with the flow of that, but you could end up somewhere where somebody says, "Hey, I seen him doing that." And now you have to answer for that. You can't say, "Well, everyone else was doing it," because everyone else ain't there to face the music. So, yeah, get with somebody that's been around, figure out what the program is and what the program is if you may potentially be going to prison. That way you're not doing things that are going to get caught up down the line. So that's another thing there. That's the second thing. Uh, don't I've seen a lot of people do this in the past. I've seen Woods do this where they're trying to hustle a soup. Basically, it's around dinner time and they're going around. Hey, homie, you got a soup? You got a soup? And they're asking other races, like the Southsiders in particular, the Paisas, do you have a soup? Now, some people are cool with other people, and that is an accepted practice, but I wouldn't get in the habit of doing that with other races because the thing is, it could turn into a big thing. And the thing is, you as an individual, your actions could turn into a riot. If you keep bumming soups from, let's just use a Southsider as an example, from a Southsider homie, at some point he's going to get tired of that and he may say something sideways to you like, you're a bum. Well, can't you get your own soups? You take offense to that, it turns into a fight. And what happens when two different groups are fighting in the county jail or prison? It turns into a riot. And the thing is, your people are going to back you in the moment because all they see is you fighting with another race. But when all the dust settles and everything, they're going to figure out what started that. And if you're in the wrong, then you're going to have something coming. So, yeah, there's that there as well. So ultimately, I would say just, try to find somebody that can put you up on game if you are stuck in the county. And if you're looking at, especially if you're looking at prison time, get with somebody that's been there already because they can put you up on good game on what's going on in the system. That way when you hit the system you don't have any surprises that follow you and you end up getting beat down or even worse stabbed by your own people because you didn't follow proper protocols that are in place. So I hope everybody is having a good week. Ultimately, like I always say, the best thing is if you don't use and if you're not abusing substances or alcohol, then you have a much better chance of not ending up in one of these places. So if you're new to sobriety, welcome. I believe in you. You can do it. It's just one day at a time. Let's get through today and then we'll worry about tomorrow when we get there. And then repeat basically. So yeah, that's it. It's a matter of having a good foundation around you and the people around you are going to they're going to influence what you do. So if you're around people that aren't using, then there's a good chance you're not going to use as well. You're definitely not going to have those bad influences around you. So find a meeting, uh, do whatever it is that you need to do to stay sober for today, and we'll worry about tomorrow when it gets here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative and I hope it helps. Like I said, the best remedy for being safe in jail is not going because ultimately it's not a great place to be whatsoever. The food sucks. Those deputy sheriffs in the county jail are dicks. And, basically they see it that that's their house. When you get to prison, that becomes our house. But in the county jail, that's their house. And they will send that goon squad to put a nasty whooping on you. And it's not something that you want, believe me. So, yeah, that's the story for the day. If you enjoy this sort of content and you're new to sobriety, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the video. It really helps. If you know somebody that's struggling with addiction, definitely send them the video, and hopefully it will help. So, yeah, that's what it is today. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. and don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.